Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's Ancast podcast. This week on the show we've got Debbie Jackson. She's a proposals manager for a systems integration company. Welcome, Debbie.
Hi, Ben.
I understand you didn't start in broadcast media and you started in the audio world. Did you really want to be a DJ, Debbie? Is that what it was?
I did. The broadcast industry is full of failed DJs. I studied music and sound technology at university, and I really wanted to go into the music industry in a recording studio, but I very quickly realised that it wasn't a very well paid industry and it was very hard to get into. So I ended up in broadcast.
Yeah. I mean, the sort of, interlinked to like sister industries in a way, aren't they? So I guess, yeah. Was it like audio production, music production, that sort of course you was on?
It was. So it was mainly centered around working in recording studios. So we spent lots of time mixing down bands. We looked at acoustics. It was really varied. And I think the basis, so a lot of the principles of audio that I learned helped me initially once I moved into the industry as an audio engineer. Yeah. Although I'd worked on live sound desks or recording desks, it wasn't that far removed from broadcast audio consoles.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, actually, because those sort of the audio engineer side of those music production courses, so, some of it would have been transferable. So I guess once you figured out that maybe it wasn't going to be too well paid, or whether you just be sort of, trying for an industry that you just wasn't destined for. I understand you got a bit of luck, got a connection and you managed to secure a sort of like an audio engineer role within, was it like an Intercom company or a telecoms company or something like that?
So I initially started off working for a systems integration company. My dad worked in the broadcast industry, and I remember him being away for many years when I was younger, working away on projects. And I just remember saying, I'm not going to work in the industry. I'm definitely not going into broadcast. He got me an interview at a systems integration company, and they took me on as one of their audio engineers. And literally day 2 of the job, I found myself being told, right, you're off to Romania. You're responsible for all things audio. It was a TV facility build. So it was a studio and gallery. And I found myself very quickly having to learn broadcast audio. It's nothing like being thrown into a project in a foreign country for months on end.
Definitely not. I mean, that sounds quite exciting, though. You've come out of university, you've sort of not gone in the industry that you wanted, but you've ended up sort of working internationally straight away. And I guess, was it quite a steep learning curve? And was, how was it then?
It was a very steep learning curve. I remember just being told one day, go and configure all the audio devices, put them on the network. And at that point, I had no idea how to put them on the network or give them IP addresses. And I found myself Googling, and I was lucky enough to have a mentor at the systems integration company who took me through every step of the way and taught me a lot of what I still know today. So I did have somebody who looked out for me. And yeah, I was lucky enough that I think, having done an engineering degree, although it wasn't in broadcast, I could still use the mindset and the skills they were transferable. So it was great fun. I travelled, I went to many places worldwide. And then I wanted to move on. I wanted to do something different. So I worked with a particular intercom company on one of the projects, and I then got offered a job at said intercom company, and I spent 9 years focusing on just intercom, the intercom side of audio. I worked in a technical support role, and I again traveled the world, looked after clients, looked after the sales managers, and went to various trade shows and became an intercom specialist.
Cool. And I guess 9 years, that's quite a long time in the same role, right? So
Yeah.
in those 9 years, was you literally just happy just doing the work, the sort of support work then?
Yeah, I mean, I love the travel. I've been to some places that I never would have dreamt of going to. I love my clients. It was very client facing. Yeah, I enjoyed my time there, but it just naturally towards the end, I wasn't where I wanted to be in my career. There wasn't really the career progression, and I wanted more progression. So I then ended up moving back to a systems integration company, to the same systems integration company that I started at.
Just when you got out, they pulled you back in, right?
And I joined just as an engineer. And I found
Yeah.
myself, it was a very small team at that point, having to either be involved in the delivery of projects or having to work in proposals, which is designing the systems and giving clients prices for giving quotes to clients. And then I also found myself having to be a project manager, and I gained the project management qualification. But I went from being able to be focused on audio and intercom to literally being thrown anything and everything. I found myself having to be involved in playout systems, in MAM systems, in video. And of course, I don't have a broadcasting background, a video broadcasting background. I found myself in doing workflows with clients, looking at scheduling systems, replay, ingest, literally anything and everything. Just found myself having to learn it.
Wow. I mean, just coming from like a support role into being given the opportunity to sort of really sort of diversify in these skill sets then. And so the company that you sort of went back to, did they provide any like formal sort of, qualifications or training, that sort of thing?
They did for project management. I had very one large project to manage, and they provided the ability for me to do my APMP qualification.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's worldwide recognized one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed doing that. And I was lucky enough to pass. So I gained that qualification. It's quite hard to pass. I did a week's intensive course, and
It is, yes.
it was quite intense. There's only 3 of us out of 15 on the course that passed. But I think I had the benefit of I was running a project at the same time. So
Yeah.
I had the benefit of being able to apply the knowledge. But yes, so the company, the systems integration company, gave me the opportunity to do that qualification.
That's brilliant. And so, you got involved in sort of project management then. And did you find yourself becoming a bit more sort of closer to the commercial side and, the deals that were about to sort of land?
Yeah, so being a project manager, I was responsible for the project budget and keeping it on track.
Yeah.
And any of the over or underspends on a project. And I suddenly found myself having to have a commercial awareness of, providing quotes to clients, and understanding how to manage budgets. And again, that was something, I hadn't set out to do, hadn't done with the intercom company. So again, it was sort of learning on my feet.
Yeah, but I suppose you didn't want to go back to the support role, right? It's
No.
full steam ahead from your perspective.
Yeah, as much as I love the travel towards the end, I'd had enough of living out of an airport.
Yeah, there is that.
My technical support role, the territory that I covered was Europe, Middle East and Africa. So I covered half the world, and I worked it was a German-American company. So if I wasn't traveling to my clients, I was either in Germany or America. So yeah. I spent a lot of time on the road, and I just wanted to step away from that.
Yeah, no, it's typical of, the sort of, younger people coming through the industry. They instantly think that this travel work lifestyle is awesome until you've done it for sort of, 15, 20 years. And it's sort of yeah, people appreciate maybe the home life a bit more as they mature and get older, I guess.
Yeah. And that was really, I wanted to progress, and I also wanted a role that would not see me traveling a lot. And although the systems integration company I went to went into liquidation, I was then lucky enough to find another role within a systems integration company. It's an SI, and it's a division of a company that's been going for quite a few years, a reseller of equipment or used equipment. And they'd set up a systems division, and it'd only been going a year. And I was lucky enough to be asked to come on board, and I now work in primarily focused in proposals. So I don't have a lot of travel, which is nice. I do go and see clients occasionally, but not a lot of international travel. And now it's mainly focused on having a commercial understanding and managing, all of the proposals that are going on in the department, and managing the team that oversee those proposals.
Yeah, but I guess these are opportunities that present themselves, right? So, a company that's fresh off the ground, it's only been going a year, and you get the opportunity to come on board at that, it's an early stage of the company, and it could be setting you up quite well now, because the road ahead in its infancy is quite appealing in many respects, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I started, the proposals team was a team of 2.
Yeah.
It was literally the technical director who set up the systems side with the projects director. So it was literally the technical director and myself were responsible for doing proposals. And then over the years, I've been with them now 3 years. And over the years, we've built an entire team. And, hopefully it'll go from strength to strength. It's a great company to work for.
Yeah. And I guess, for people who are going through, sort of a company might be folding, or it's sort of merging with another company, and you've seen yourself that, you can hop between companies, and if an opportunity comes up like that, it's always good to explore them or take them up, right?
Yeah. And I think I've learned along the way that the broadcast industry is incredibly small.
Yeah.
Like you literally see the same faces moving about different companies, and yes, you can, you can make changes on completely different paths. But I think generally, once you're in the broadcast industry, there's always the ability to either move to a similar role or move to a different role.
Yeah. And what about sort of your role now? I like to ask people, do you think you've found your sort of ideal role? And, how do you know when you've found it, sort of thing?
Yes. I think I love the team I work for. It's a really nice dynamic, really nice bunch of people, really clever people. The board of directors are really young. And they're very forward thinking, and they've always got really good ideas where to take the company next. And I like working for a team of people that, are super clever and have got really good ideas. I love the dynamic, and I do enjoy the role. I love the client side of things. Occasionally I'm allowed to do audio. Occasionally I'll get asked audio questions, but I also like the diversity of my role. I can be doing one type of proposal to the next. I might be looking at an OB vehicle for a client. I might then be looking at a portable production unit. I might be looking at a playout system. I might be looking at replay. They might want intercom. Really don't know what I'm going to get from one day to the next. So it always provides the challenge of having to research a particular solution and then present to the clients.
Yeah, and new tech, right? Everyone likes a bit of new tech, so why not?
Yeah.
So yeah. No regrets about the DJ career then, Debbie?
I'd have liked to have been a superstar DJ. I think I'd have been paid more, but
Yeah. Well, you could be a bedroom DJ and still keep that sort of light burning in the background, right?
Well, that was one of my first purchases when I joined the company I am with now. The now group, get his title right, group CEO, convinced me to buy a new decks and a mixer. So that was my first purchase. So my boss laughed because my salary went in and out on the same day. And
Nice.
I bought some more decks to go with my the original 1210s I've got. So I've still got them. I don't get a chance to use them often, normally working hard.
Well, you can dust them off any time you like then, I guess. Well, Debbie, I'd just like to say thank you for coming on the show. It's been interesting finding someone who was destined for music industry to end up in broadcast media. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.